Welcome to Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go, Enchanting Sorcery Productions' hit game of Thirsty Sword Lesbians. All of the lesbians are talking about it, I promise. If you haven't heard them talking about it, you should know better lesbians. Speaking of better lesbians, we're going to start with my cast introducing themselves. I think we'll start with whoever is directly below me. It's so weird to be on top. So, Juicy, please introduce yourself with your pronouns and your character and what we see of your character in the introduction credits rolling sequence.
Yes, so I am Juicy Garland, Boston area drag queen and super nerd, and I will be your bottom lesbian for the evening. I am playing Sunbeam, the solar guardian, and I can't quite remember what I said for our opening credits last week, but I am certain that if these credits are changing, at least at some point, what we see would be her reading a book, and then it would cut to her, because she is the solar guardian, looking at vegan recipes. And then it is her shopping at Whole Foods, looking for organic kale.
Oh my god, that's amazing. That's so like dyke anime. I am here for it. Even more bottom than our resident bottom dyke, I guess, is Jess. So will you please introduce yourself?
Hi there, I'm Jess. My pronouns are she, her. I am an Atlanta streamer, artist, performer, all this cool stuff. I'm currently playing Cherry, the scoundrel, and in our opening credit scene, you see her in a desert, parked kind of on the desert flats, and she's leaning on her very cool vintage Firebird car that's gold, and she's staring into the sunset. And you can't see her eyes because she's wearing mirrored aviators.
It's so different from Sunbeam and so lesbianic, and I'm just... Is it bad that I'm in love with all of my characters?
No.
Going around Wittershins, which is a better direction than Jessel, I would imagine. It's been a long time since I've been doing Wicca, so I don't remember if that's summoning or banishing. But nonetheless, next in Wittershins is Eve. Eve, please tell us who you're playing.
Hello, I'm Eve, and I'm playing Belladonna Sawyer, mostly known as Sawyer. And you can see her. She's sitting in her shitty little apartment, sprawled on the couch, cigarette hanging out of her mouth as she plucks away on her guitar, the big old headphones plugged directly into it. And yeah, just a couple beers on the floor next to her, just relaxing, laying back, and strumming away.
Strumming my pain. No, that's a very different kind of vibe.
It's pretty relaxed strumming. She's just relaxing.
Okay, I like that. That also feels very anime. It feels very what's his name? Can't remember his name now. The guy who did Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. Cam.
No, I didn't do those things. That's not. But I am Cameron, he, him, Texas-based artist, actor, professor, also internet celebrity. If you don't believe me on that last one, you should just look me up. I'm playing Tallahassee Stirrup today, the truest of the troubadours. She is definitely always wearing her denim vest. Let us be fair. It is not the same denim vest. It is the same style of denim vest, just whole closet full. And that's probably the opening shot, just her picking up one of the multiple same denim vests. They all have the same vinyl pins in the same exact pattern, so she doesn't have to do a lot of stuff, which is good because the next shot you see is her working in the farm, petting a horse, wiping sweat off her brow, and finally putting on her cowboy hat. And then all of that fades to the nighttime where all of the LED lights and the camera flashes surround her as she is on stage riding a mechanical bull. Did I miss anything?
I really have a crush on every single one of my characters. This is amazing. Saul, you're up next.
Saul, I guess. My pronouns are all of the neopronouns, and what is there to say about me? Not a lot. I'm playing Adrian Pandemos, who is, I guess in the opening sequence, what is she doing? Ooh, I know. She's in her she has like a little bungalow in New Eden, and she's just frying up an egg over the stove, making some breakfast.
Aww, cottagecore.
Sure.
I love that we've managed to have a hippie, a country dyke, and a cottagecore dyke, and managed to differentiate them all, because very often there's crossover.
That's
and I
a
am
strong
all
word for
about it.
Adrian.
Excuse me, sorry. Well, hello. I have lots of names. I have 19 of them. I'll give you a different one every time. One of them is Ansisa. I also use 3 different sets of pronouns, one of which is Fey, Femme, Fear, Fierce. Speaking of neopronouns, which of course I use neopronouns, and Adrian uses every neopronoun, or Saul uses every neopronoun. One of my favorite things that I just remembered about the author of Thirsty Sword Lesbians, April Kit Walsh, is that April, in addition to she, her, April uses gay, gem pronouns. I just love the idea that Gare pronoun is gay. That makes me so happy. Before we get into episode 2 of Sparkleheart Magic Force Go, the Paleozoic within the body, I want to remind everyone that we have some custom channel point purchases where you can purchase a cute critter companion, an individual flashback, a group flashback, or an indulgent outfit description or transformation with your channel points. So save them up and spend them well. In addition, if you purchase with your channel points a tarot card pull, I will be pulling from the Sailor Moon Tarot deck, which you can purchase at Etsy. I've been given permission to use it on stream, and I thought I should advertise them. You can purchase it from Kaio Clubhouse. And also, I agree with Majuples, Naughty is in fact the cutest. In the very first episode of the mahou shoujo anime Sparkleheart Magic Force, 5 13-year-old children from the town of New Eden, nestled somewhere among the deserts of the American Southwest, were brought together by an entity they named Aura. The details of its vaguely humanoid form were obscured by the sheer force of the white and silver glitter that composed it, blinding both the children and the audience watching the show on their television. The show won numerous awards for special effects for this image. Lines arc from its back in parabolas and hyperbolas like those of a topographical map or a physicist's diagram of vector forces. They give the impression of wings. As it floated a foot or two up, white flowers dripped from its bottom surface, collecting on the ground below it in a pile of pink sakura blossoms, orange nasturtiums, blue irises, and a wild rainbow of other flowers. Aura spoke to them of the Eidolons, vile monsters who used illusions to wear away at their victims' hearts, and enlisted the children in a war against them, a war for the very souls of New Eden citizenry. As they each agreed, one after the other, Aura bound them to what she called a zeitgeist, each the spirit of some century of history. Bound to the zeitgeist of the 5th century BCE, the golden age of Athenian democracy, Adrian became Scale Guardian. To the zeitgeist of the 11th century, Belladonna Sawyer became Song Guardian. The zeitgeist of the 18th century turned Sunny into Solar Guardian, while its counterpart of the 19th made Stampede Guardian out of Tallahassee Stirrup. And Cherry Ciccarelli near jumped into the 20th century zeitgeist to become Sparkle Guardian. Although the 5 had barely known each other before this moment, they found kinship amidst all the time travel and combat forging Sparkle Heart magic force between them. They traveled through the last decade the slow way, the same way the rest of us did. Only Cherry tried, with increasing desperation and increasing despair, to become her magical girl self again. She only just succeeded 10 days ago while facing off against a near-perfect copy of her 13-year-old self. It would have been perfect if it had had a face. She called her old teammates to reunite Sparkle Heart Magic Force, a reunion interrupted by an attack of those very same creatures. Before we return to the action, we're going to get a recap, but we will return to the action as the blurry face of Song Guardian sinks its blade into the real Belladonna's shoulder. At least Rebecca Garcia is safe for the moment, since Sawyer is on top of her right now. And speaking of Sawyer, please tell us what happened, Eve.
Eve, you're muted.
Okay, I was asking how long of a recap do we want? Do we want me to go step by step, or just quick impressions like you would on a previously on?
Whatever you want to give, Eve. It is up
I want
to you.
voices, everything. Sock puppets.
Give us a 3-hour recap.
Yes, okay, step by step. A full recap. I was only dealing with COVID and a just nasty head cold and a fever. It was just barely clocking in there, and I did not take notes. Okay, so we cut in. We're at the we're at the skate rink. You got Cherry there talking to Rebecca, and who shows up but Sunbeam first? No, Adrian first. It was Adrian that showed up. They had a lovely little conversation, and then it was Sunbeam. Right? Yes. Because Sawyer was outside smoking and glaring at everybody showing up. Because if everybody didn't show up, then she was just going to bounce. And Sunbeam went in, all lovey-dovey talking and everything, and Sunbeam's kind of not being too much of a bitch, but just a little bit. Then Tallahassee sneaks in. She's still got Tallahassee written in rhinestones across her ass, but still sneaking in through the back. Made out with Rebecca, I believe, just a little bit. Then went inside and made out with Cherry? No, it did not make out with Cherry. Got real close to making out with Cherry. No, that was a flashback where they made out. That's right, it was a flashback where they made out. Once again, I had COVID and I did not realize I had COVID, so I was not taking care of myself. And it kind of hit me out of nowhere. So everything's real muddy. And then, you know, they were giving each other eyeballs. Sunbeam didn't like that. Right? No, Sunbeam didn't like that at all. And then finally Sawyer comes in. It's just like, fuck all y'all. And they get into a big fight because Sawyer doesn't want to be there. There's also a little flying bug guy. Nobody likes. Tallahassee makes Sawyer feel bad. Sawyer punches a mirror. Gets attacked by the flying bug guy. Naughty. I'm just gonna keep calling. I know it's Nautilus. Gonna call it a flying bug guy. Then that was around the time that a whole bunch of the fake us's attacked. Sawyer sucked at it. Got jumped. They were all running for that rock. There was a rock. Everybody remember the rock? It was sitting on the counter. this is where there's a lot happening in this time, and this is when the fever has hit me real bad. I don't know if y'all were watching, but like I was holding a frozen bottle to my head like the entire time, and it was melting fast. So yeah, like a whole bunch of stuff happened. The bad guys got to the rock. People were hitting each other. Tallahassee transformed with the lasso. And then Sunbeam transformed. I can't remember exactly what you transformed to do. Once again, a lot was happening. I was not feeling well. And I did not take notes or rewatch the episode because I feel uncomfortable watching myself.
Mood.
Amazing.
So yeah, I know they managed to get the rock. They hit the rock, and the rock turned into some like unfoldy transformer bug thing, monster guy made of rock. It's like a rubble monster. Yeah, we'll just go with that. A weird, lanky rubble monster. Just think rocks and rebar and whatnot. I don't know. I'm picturing it bug-like in my head. That might not have been how it was described. Anyways, the fake Song Guardian was about to stab Rebecca, but like I managed to talk everybody into letting me get at it with a disadvantage. Get in the way. I said a cool line. I don't remember what the cool line was. Yeah, and so now I'm really hurt, and bad things are happening. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Did I miss anything?
I think you got everything. Do any of my players want to throw anything in if the case?
For having had a raging fever for the second half of the game, that was
Seriously.
pretty spot on.
Yeah, 11
Really
out of 10,
like
no notes.
TTRPGs.
That was
Yeah,
that was brilliant. Go ahead, Jess.
You jumped in the way and you protected Rebecca, but you took a blow.
I cannot remember my cool line though. Damn it.
It's so cool.
I know it was cool because I remember everybody going, "Ooh."
That's the worst thing about COVID is you forget your cool lines.
I know it's
Before-
terrible.
Before we jump into this, I did realize I should mention role-playing is by its nature an improvisational medium, so we cannot tell you a complete list of content warnings, and I apologize for that. But the ones that seem possible to likely be in this episode, just so you can be prepared and take the precautions you need to take to keep your mindset where you would like it to be, would include physical violence, yelling, childhood trauma, ongoing familial trauma, amnesia, blood, I should add guilt, and hallucinations or illusions. So please keep yourself safe in the ways that you keep yourself safe. You can always come back and watch it later if you want to. You can always decide not to watch it if you don't want to, and that's rad. Makes me a little sad because I want everybody to see my art, but it's still rad because you're more important. So we rejoin the narrative in Samsara Skating, excuse me. An old roller rink, giving 70s new age disco. Think Xanadu, only instead of silver, it has formica with fake wood grain that is quite probably peeling, and frayed naga hide. Hidden here and there are little accents of South Asian culture. Under some of the signs with the name of the skate rink, they have the name in Devanagari, tiny little things underneath the Xanadu font name, Roman characters. somewhere hidden in the decor is an image of the Wheel of Samsara, for which the rink is named. We have, I think, if I recall correctly, we have on the far side of the roller rink itself, all the way across the giant room from the entrance, surrounding at this point, I think, Rebecca's body on the floor. We have Cherry, Stampede Guardian, and Sawyer, if I recall correctly, in addition to the blurry-faced Song Guardian standing above Rebecca's body. Much closer to the door. Actually, I imagine you about halfway through the room, Solar Guardian. But do you have a better idea of where you are inside the roller rink in terms of positioning? I imagine you kind of in the actual rink itself at the moment.
Yeah, I feel like I ran about midway to the fight because I wanted to be close enough to get a good shot off with my sword, but it was that, like, laser beam blast. So I did not get into melee range, I was at a distance. So yeah, in the middle of the, like, roller rink does make sense.
Okay, that's exactly what I was thinking. I should also mention that Cherry is currently on the floor of the roller rink as Sawyer shoved her aside, rushing to get to perform heroic self-harm, I guess is a way that you could describe that. And then all the way in the corner at the end of the food counter, we have Adrian, who is currently looking in the face of a giant bug monster. Creepy in the way that children find things creepy. Big eyes. Go ahead.
Can I ask a clarifying question?
Please.
Were we in roller skates, or did we not yet get into them?
That there were several periods of time where you might have put on roller skates, so I will leave that up to y'all.
Okay. I think I'm in roller skates. I want to be in roller skates to make this more chaotic and ridiculous.
I love it. In fact, raise your hand, please, if you're in roller skates. Oh, my players.
Oh, no. My roller skates are a huge reveal.
Yeah, when I transformed, the roller skates came on, and I'm in the roller skates on the roller rink floor.
That is so magical, girl. That when you transformed, they just appeared with a little extra, like, half-second animation.
Yep, as I
Man, that's
entered
good.
the roller rink floor, yeah.
Is it possible to have negative roller skates?
Yes.
Well, you and
Like-
Cherry are
like
both on your asses
anti-skate.
right now.
Yes.
Mhm.
Good point.
It's cleats.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Baba Yaga has redeemed an indulgent outfit description or transformation, but not specified who will be indulging themselves. Unless there is a volunteer. I think since we were just hearing about transformation from Juicy, it would be Solar Guardian. But somebody might have a volunteer. We also heard that there was, yep, go ahead, Cam.
I do have a proposition for a double transformation.
I'm down.
A paired move, if you will. I think as Tallahassee sees Adrian square up against this, like, almost mythical, like, bug monster, she screams out, "Hey, Adrian, I hope you've been keeping up on your Lord of the Rings. I think it's time to get a little medieval." And prompts fucking Scale Guardian about their double move, cowgirl jousting style. It's called couples move : cowboy jousting style. I think immediately Tallahassee throws you her like saber like rusted sword, and it attaches to your sword, if I may, and it turns into this like long jousting.
Pause, real quick pause. As I recall, Adrian is still Adrian and not Scale Guardian. So at this point, the Indulgent transformation description, Saul, please tell us Adrian's transformation before Cam continues.
Oh
Oh my
gosh.
gosh, it's like Digimon.
Okay.
You skipped a level.
Yeah. I guess. I have to throw something to transform, don't I?
Yep.
Well, I've just thrown my sword at you. Could throw something at it.
At the sword? Okay. Oh, wait. Adrian sees Tallahassee throwing the sword and takes off one of the crutches and throws it towards the sword so that they can connect and become the jousting spear. And as this happens, I think just like a wave. Oh, okay. A wave of like orange sparkle starts traveling up from Adrian's feet, but the sparkles are sort of dull and they look almost just like dust, like sand, as they like travel up her body. And you see she's in this like little short yellowish toga and has this like orange throw over her shoulders, and she catches the sword, and it's this like gorgeous long jousting sword type thing, and she's just holding it and she's like
I then take off my horns and I toss them to you, and they land on your head, like facing down. So the curvature of the horns almost like pierce your face, and then it instantly turns into like a knight's helm, like just sparkling gold knight's helm. And Tallahassee throws her lasso up, and as the camera like pans up to follow the lasso, when it pans down, Tallahassee, her legs are gone, and the bottom half of her is a beautiful white stallion.
Oh my
And she like
God.
skirts to a halt right next to Adrian and like bends down so that you can get on, and like a golden saddle just like appears and drapes
Oh my
out.
God. Yes, Adrian of course steps onto the saddle, wielding this massive like jousting whatever they're called.
I say sparkle gee, you say sparkle ha.
Sparkle ha!
And we charge towards the beast.
I love this so much. It's even got the weird understanding of time that Mahou Shoujo has. For real. Okay, so what is your goal with this move? What are you trying to achieve with this move? Like, because not everything that in Thirsty Sword Lesbians, for the audience, not everything that looks like fighting is fighting in Thirsty Sword Lesbians, right? If you're crossing blades with someone, you might be trying to hurt them. You might be trying to stop something from happening, like defy disaster. You might be trying to flirt with them because sword lesbians are awesome. You know, you might be trying to figure them out, etc., etc., etc. So, the two of you, what are you trying to achieve with this?
Well, it is a couple's move, so we can achieve two separate things, I believe. And I don't know, I look sexy as hell, so I might be flirting with the beast.
The beast?
I don't know, it's stone. The golem.
This giant Shelob-like creature with rebar legs and huge reflective glass eyes. That is creepy in the way that only children can draw creepy bugs. You're gonna flirt with it by charging at it?
Tallahassee rides a mechanical bull for a living. If you don't think she's on like the far side of a monster fucker chart, you're wrong.
All right. And Saul, what is Adrian trying to do?
Oh gosh. Is there an option for Adrian to just like assist Tallahassee with whatever's going on?
That would be influence with a string. And if that's all you want to do, that's rad. If you don't want to do like a somewhat more active move, that's rad. You can just spend a string.
Well, I mean, I was kind of gonna attack it, but Tallahassee's trying to flirt with it.
So Cameron's choice was like, I feel like if we hit two separate parts, we could do more. But I love you just helping me.
Or Tallahassee's distracting it, and Adrian's attacking it with the lance. So it is still.
We've also not done this for 10 years, so like it's
Very
so
It should
funny
be
if you
at
just
odds.
totally
It-
miss it.
Okay. Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
good point. Okay, I think as Tallahassee kind of like gets closer to like flirt with the monster, Adrian already has the like lance. It's called a lance, I just remembered. Adrian has the lance out. And I guess just like strikes towards the beast. What do I do? Do I have to roll?
Yes, you do. Grabbing my handy dandy book here. I think this is a daring for you, Saul. So please roll with daring for the fight move. And
Good.
Cam, roll with
Mhm.
heart for entice, if you wouldn't
Okay.
mind. And while you're
I'm
rolling,
all-
I'm going to take narrative control for a moment for just a quick flashback to 11 years ago, the first episode where you ever did this move, and Adrian turning to Tallahassee and saying, "The 5th century BCE is like 2,000 years before medieval, almost. It's not medieval," and then the flashback cuts off in the middle of the word medieval, and we come back.
Think about what you said all those years ago. I don't think Lord of the Rings is medieval, though. I think it could be 2000 BCE.
Okay, it's not, it's not quite whatever.
What about all them video games people have been playing? I don't know.
And then a quick flashback to Sawyer back in the day being like, 11th century is medieval, and then cut back. So what are people's results?
Big fat
Hey.
5.
Okay. Could I pitch something that I think everybody's gonna say no to?
You can always pitch.
Yeah, that's all I want to do. Okay, I have an amazing playbook move called Shooting Star, and I know this thing was just created, but here's the thing. I'm hot as hell, and I just transformed 2 times, and now I also have 4 legs, so I think this NPC is a fan of mine. I would love for them to do me the favor of just like leaving.
Let me look at this.
I know I might have to like do something for them, but I'm down. Yeehaw.
This thing is an eidolon that we spent 4 years killing them. So
So it's probably a huge fan of mine.
Yeah. This is a rare instance where, I'm the kind of GM who always wants to say yes. I want my players to get what
Easy.
they want.
Only 3 letters. It's only a 3-letter word.
But you know what's less than 3 letters?
You know what?
A
Never
word-
take the easy way out. Never take the easy way out.
No.
Challenge yourself. Okay, I rolled a 5.
You both failed. I love this.
Is this one of them games where you take XP for failing?
It is one of those games where you take XP for failing, yes. So you both gain an XP. I think you're both at 4 now.
That sounds like a
Um,
lot.
And I am going to sow such chaos.
Whatever. It's
Um,
fine. I'm not bitter.
Actually, no,
Tallahassee
I'm not going to
cries
sow
because
that
it's not a
chaos.
fan.
Let's see. Thinking about this. So as you're charging forth, the Eidolon sort of rears up, spreads its rebar legs. You can see 2 of them standing and 4 legs spread. So it got 6 legs. Its eyes, they have the effect of glowing, but they're reflecting, right? Like headlights on steel glass, or like Ragnarok collapse hitting an office building, just to twist that screw. And as you look into those eyes, Cam, to entice it, and everybody's going to see this because it uses illusions. You see coming out of this creature an image of Sawyer. And the first thing you see is Sawyer's face, which has an emotion on it that is unsettlingly similar to the emotion you've seen on Sawyer's face earlier today. It is a face that has no remorse for what it is saying or doing, which is not what was on Sawyer's face earlier, but it is eerily similar. And it looks at you and it says, "Because of your love, I knew it was okay," and lifts hands dripping with blood. "Because of your love, I didn't have to bind myself anymore. I could do anything." So that's your consequence, Cam.
Okay, that's not sexy.
Please stagger. And no, it is not sexy. I am giving you more of a fighty response.
But that's what Tallahassee says in response.
Oh, okay. Please stagger. So how many conditions does Tallahassee have at the moment?
Tallahassee has one.
So
She's
your
guilty
choices
at the
are...
moment.
Okay. Your choices are lash out at someone whose regard matters to you, provoke them to do something foolish or harmful and take advantage of a string on them if you have one, hesitate and stumble and the opposition gains an opportunity, or grin and bear the blow. Mark 2 conditions.
Oh, I think I absolutely trip and stumble in this form that I have not taken for 10 years as I see my friend and I'm hit with this wave of emotion. I think I fall and I think Adrian flies off my back.
So you trip and you fall amongst the tables of the food area of this roller rink, samsara skating. And you, in doing so, you pitch Adrian forward. And Adrian sails over this new Sawyer's head. Sawyer, this illusion of Sawyer, looks up and sees you sailing and just reaches one hand up and trails 3 fingertips of blood down the length of your body. Scale Guardian. And you land and roll at the to settle at the feet of this Eidolon, which starts leaning over you in a threatening manner. So, what are the other 3 of you doing?
Looking at their abject failure, I would like to blast off another laser beam to make up for it if I could.
Please give us the description.
Yeah, so I, seeing them stumble so gracelessly, I will raise my sword and swing it in a circle and shout, "Leaf Dream Forest!" and try to shoot another beam off of my sword, which last time we said that was plus spirit.
What are you trying to achieve?
Blasting another beam at the big horrible creature.
You're trying to hurt it.
Yes.
So it's a fight.
That's
which should be. Go ahead.
Okay. No, go. So.
It should be a fight, and I do remember the thing about spirit, but I don't remember why we said that, so I'm trying to look.
Yeah, and the reason was because I was shooting off a magical beam with my sword rather than running up and contacting it directly.
I will give it to you. There is a move on somebody's playbook that lets you fight with plus spirit, but I think it gives you other benefits as well. So I will let you roll a spirit again.
Okay, all right. and that would be a 10 total.
Ooh. So you get to choose 3 of the options, and you're attacking the new Eidolon, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So you get to choose 3 of your options.
And what are those options? Remind me.
Okay. Oh, and I just found who has the roll plus spear instead of plus daring to fight, and it is Scale Guardian. Which also would let Scale Guardian choose an additional option. Those 3 options are, in this case, it's not taking the shape of a 13-year-old girl, so you could flirt with it or provoke it to gain a string on it. Through violence or cutting words, you could inflict a condition on it. You could create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction, or you could take an object from your opponent or seize a superior position.
Yeah, I would like to do the 3 latter. So, inflict a condition, gain advantage over it, and what was the other one?
I think you kind of, by gaining advantage, I think you got both of the last 2. One is create an opportunity for an ally,
Yes.
and the other is seize a superior position.
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
So
And
can you tell me what happened? Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I swing my sword about and blast a beam. Like the flowers open up on the vines around the wooden sword again and unleash like a twisting beam of light at the big spidery thing. And they lash out at like one of the legs, and the condition I'd like to apply to it is stumbling, if I can. Or
Again,
are there
the
standard
conditions-
conditions here? Yeah.
Yes.
That's right. Sorry, I keep thinking of Monster Hearts. Sorry, that's my bad.
No worries. Also, Monster Hearts has changed what conditions mean, and it was already fuzzy to begin with, and now it's less fuzzy, but I think I like it less. But anyway. The options are angry, frightened, guilty, hopeless, and insecure.
I want it to be insecure.
Right. And then how are you opening up an opportunity, and how are you seizing a superior position?
The opportunity that I want to open up is that because I lashed out at it with my beam, at its legs, I want it to have a hard time being able to move around.
Okay.
So that way it can move as quickly and like get out of the way of attacks or move at other people. And then I want to move around so that way I can give myself an advantage to hit next time.
Okay. And when you said that you don't want it to be able, or you want it to have a hard time moving around, how did you treat that again? Can you remind me? Did you say that you like wrapped its legs, or you cut its legs, or
yeah,
how did
like
you
I hit it in the legs, so like it's like knees are damaged on a few of the legs, like the beam went through a couple of them at the right angle, so that way it's having a hard time walking around.
Okay, so they're cut off. Okay, so it stumbles down on the newly shorter rebar legs, bringing its face even closer to Scale Guardian's body. Checking. I have notes everywhere, y'all. I'm that GM. I am the ADHD GM. Right. And I say that because I actually have an ADHD diagnosis, everybody. Okay. How do we do this? Go with this. Sorry, my mind is slowing down sometimes. So it looks up at you, Solar Guardian, and it sort of roars this. It's a roar that's almost like the grinding of granite. With on the edge of the sound is the tinkling of glass. There's an explosion behind this sound. Auditorily, you don't see anything. It feels like the sound of dynamite demolishing a museum. And you see its eyes, the reflection of light in its eyes, and in those eyes you see yourself. The way you were as a teenager, but with 10 years added onto you. So the age you are now, but you are taking notes, highly organized Cornell notes in a legal pad, studying while your desk is minimalist, no decorations, not even really any books. This is the desk of somebody who is firmly in control of everything. And in the middle, through that roar, you hear the sound of a voice saying, "Don't worry, you could still be this." Yeah, fake Sparkle Guardian will call out...
Cola Float Barrage.
There you go. What is it?
Cola Float Barrage.
Cola Float Barrage! And a stream of impossibly glittering brown frothy liquid knocks you over, Solar Guardian. Drenches you in sticky sugar that holds you to the ground. So you do still have that advantage position, but you're gonna have to struggle a bit to take advantage of it. And that's its return attack on you. That's the return effect. I can talk. Does that make sense? Was I clear? Did I babble too much? All right. So then who else is going? All right,
Yeah.
Sawyer, go ahead.
So yeah, Sawyer is currently on top of Rebecca. She just got pretty badly slashed across the back, so she's bleeding everywhere. And what are the stools here made out of? Are they like that cheap, like, stamped steel kind of like stool that you'd see at like a fairground or something?
Basically, they're pretty cheap.
Okay. Yeah, she wants to reach out and grab one while like rotating around and trying to push Rebecca towards the door and saying, "Outside, red Honda, check underneath the driver's side." And she's going to try to use this Barcel as a shield and maybe try to bash the fake Sun Guardian while she's doing it. But we play it up as a fight, but like this is more of like an exploratory thing. I want to figure out a person.
Okay. Roll with wit. As Rebecca screams.
Well, that is a 12. 1 second. I think I actually have something specific for this. Where am I?
Well, everybody has the truths of Heart and Blade. So with you said a 10, you get to ask.
I got 12.
12. So you get to ask a total of 3 questions. One being because you're doing it during a physical conflict. So for your free question, your extra question, your options are: what are you most ashamed of, and how could I get you to betray your ID?
Okay, yeah, that's right. No, I was looking in like my playbook moves. That's not where that thing is at. Okay, well, first of all, I'm gonna ask a few different questions here. Is this thing like a real human person?
So there's a specific set of questions that you can ask.
Oh, I did not see that specific set of questions. Ah,
So you get one question out of the 2 that I just read off, and then
Yeah.
2 questions out of this list of 5.
oh, there it is. Okay,
Yeah, you
I
found
had
it.
to scroll down further, and it just says you may ask 2 questions. I didn't
Yeah,
notice
yeah, you just
the
have to scroll
list.
down a tiny bit further.
Okay. Well, I had to actually scroll up. I had scrolled down too far. Page breaks, people. They're awkward.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, what do they hope to get from this conflict? This whole fight.
They are already halfway to achieving what they wanted. They wanted to put it in human terms, they wanted to unwrap a snack and then eat it. And they have
Okay.
unwrapped the snack by releasing the idol.
How do I get you to leave?
Agree to do what I want without
No,
knowing what it is.
that is not helpful, and I don't want to do it anyways because you pissed me
Like,
off.
give yourself to me is the response.
You should ask nicely.
And then one of your 2 specific ones from Truths of Heart and Blade.
Yes. Yeah, how do I get you to betray your ideals? I kind of feel like I can't because I'm not 100% that these are actual real human people.
The response, the understanding you get as you stare at this thing while you're deflecting its sword blows with the stool back and forth confuses you. Because the response you get, the like thing that you realize, because this isn't happening verbally, the thing that you realize as you try to understand this thing's wicked heart is that it might betray its ideals if you burned its longship, is the words that come to your mind. But that doesn't make any sense.
Actually, that does kind of make sense. No, that actually makes sense to me. I get it. I'm not really in a position to do that right now, but okay. Yeah, is Rebecca leaving?
Rebecca is sort of stumbling back, like doing a backwards crab walk.
Is she doing that towards the door?
She's doing that towards Solar Guardian, which means towards the door.
Okay, good.
But that also means that she's about to hit sticky roller rink.
What we
Get out the
could
door.
do-
Get to my car.
Here.
Go ahead,
Since
Jess.
this is all sort of happening simultaneously or in very rapid succession. So I think Cherry hit the ground, and was not expecting that. And just looks over and sees, Stampede Guardian as their centaur self leaping and then beefing it and throwing Scale Guardian and then Solar Guardian getting blasted with cola, and she's pulling herself up and she's like, I knew that move looked good. And then she will reach to her chest where she has her aviators hanging on her shirt. She will take them off and throw them in the air, and she will transform. And it looks strange. It's almost like lights reflected on blacktop, like in the rain, and that kind of light, and it's pink, and it swirls over her, and she pulls the sword out of her chest, and you said for Solar Guardian it hurt. What does it feel like for Cherry?
I read the description from the pre-game story I had sent.
Oh, all right.
Scrapes like an unwilling saw.
Yeah. She pulls it out, and as the sparkles go all the way up to the end of her sword, you see it's still Cherry, but there's kind of a sparkle to her eyes and lift to her head, and her hair is completely pink now, and still that cool comb-over flip. And she's wearing, I guess you could say, a greaser outfit, like leather jacket, leather little skirt, knee boots. It's all pink, and her sword is solid crystal, just like one long sharp crystal with a big diamond right at the handle. And she draws it out, and it's just glowing with this energy. And with one really fast step, I'm going to roll to fight. And as Sawyer's kind of fending this thing that looks like her off with a chair and kind of making eye contact with it and getting that information, Cherry's just coming sideways and punching it. And let me roll and see if I succeed.
Okay. While you roll, I want to say, Solar Guardian, I realized I kind of counteracted a beneficial effect that you had achieved, which is shitty. So I'm going to instead of saying that you lost that, I'm going to end up giving you a condition from that attack from fake Sparkle Guardian, if that's okay with you.
Sure.
And I think I'm going to give you Hopeless as the cola that hit you with that stream. Seems to have the opposite effect of cola, what drinking cola, especially like cola float, would do. Normally it would make you really happy and optimistic, and this seems to drain that away and leaves you sad and pessimistic as it washes over you, almost like it's the inverse of Sparkle Guardian's usual attack. Or maybe this is what the Eidolons all experienced when they were hit by your attacks 10 years ago. And Cherry, or now Sparkle Guardian, you are attacking, you're using fight on fake Song Guardian, is that correct?
Yes. Okay, it's a 7, so partial success.
Choose 2.
Yes. Let's see, for fight. Just had it up. There it is. Okay. I'm going to wait, this is Song Guardian, right?
Yes,
Does
this
she-
is
does she-
very face on.
Does she have her sword out?
She does. She just sank it into
Oh,
real Song Guardian's shoulder.
okay. So
Into
it's
in their cross, as I
Okay.
recall.
Soul Guardian is not here right now. I feel
That's right, you're right. Sawyer.
hurt
Sure.
that you would call Sawyer Song Guardian.
Oh, you're
Ouch.
right. You're right. It is Sawyer.
all right. I'm going to inflict a condition on it, and I'm going to take an object away from it. So what you see, as Cherry Sparkle Guardian dashes forward, it's almost like she's going in to hit it with her hilt, actually. And she yells, "Shimmer Star Smash!" and like a fist in a leather like fingerless glove like appears made out of energy at the end of the back end of the sword, and it's just gonna punch the hell out of fake Song Guardian.
Are you gonna give it guilty, hopeless, or insecure?
It has a condition already.
It has two.
It has two. One it doesn't have.
Guilty, hopeless, and insecure are the three that it doesn't.
Oh, okay. It can be hopeless.
Okay. Hopeless. Wait, no. Oh, wait. Sorry. That was Sawyer. So I'm
Yeah.
looking at my notes. I literally have them in one section. I have all the players, and then the next section I have all of the blurry faces. And the only difference is the blurry faces are in quotation marks. So I set
Oh.
myself up for this. Your options are angry, frightened, and guilty.
Okay, it's frightened because I just smashed it out of nowhere and knocked its sword out of its hands, and I want that sword to go flying.
Okay.
Or
I love it. Also, no.
or the sword flies up and lands slice very close in the ground next to Sawyer.
I love that. I love that second option.
Yes.
Before I go into further description, I will note, Dear Sawyer, you have a -2 on all rolls to figure out or fight because of your conditions. I do not think it changed to the last move.
Oh yeah.
But-
Oh right, that's right. The conditions aren't lined up to the specific things. I forgot about that.
Just to mention that.
Okay, but
So-
yeah, no, I still there's a +2 -2, so I still just rolled a flat 10.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So, Cherry, your attack hits fake Song Guardian, and it sends Song Guardian's blade flying to land right next to Sawyer, right next to Sawyer's sword hand. And Sawyer, you look at it and you realize its blade is not broken. Its blade is whole still. You have not seen your blade unbroken since before the final battle.
Yeah, no, because these things are not real. They are not us. This is a bunch of fake bullshit. She is 100% convinced. This is a trick. This is some sort of somebody's fucking around.
At the same time, let's go for a bit of ridiculosity. Your blow pushes fake Song Guardian back, and it stumbles backwards, and its feet land in a couple of roller skates. And it stumbles for a second, and then catches its feet under itself, and starts speeding across the roller rink towards the giant rubble monster that is leaning over Scale Guardian. Good.
Real quick, if Sawyer were to grab the sword, does it feel right?
I am going to use one of my generic strings. So every session, I get one string per player that I can spend on anyone. I'm going to use one of those to offer you an experience point to do so. The fact that I'm doing it probably tells you it's bad.
Okay, yeah, she grabs it because there's just this impulse. She sees this fake Song Guardian running in a different direction, so yeah, she just wants to grab the sword and throw it. But I imagine something bad's gonna happen when she touches it.
You grab the sword and you immediately transform. Can you describe your transformation as an unwilling transformer?
That's bad if I immediately transform, because that means, no, this isn't necessarily some fuckery. This is some, real magic shit.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it does mean that. You're right, yeah.
I'll be honest, me personally, as the player, I was thinking these were, weird robots.
Nope, there's something stranger than that.
So, yeah, how do I describe this? Because yeah, I was not anticipating like a forced transformation. I think. Now, does the sword transform with her too?
The sword remains whole.
Okay. But it's not her sword. She would recognize her sword, right?
It is your sword from 10 years ago.
Oh, that's weird. That's bad. Something funky's happening. Sawyer had this all wrong. I think it happened so fast that it completely catches her off guard. And I think for a oh man. Yeah, I think it's like just like this. There's like a thunderclap. It's really loud in this space because I don't know how people been to skate rinks. They got weird acoustics in there. So it's like setting off a little bomb inside. And yeah, there's a thunderclap in this bright flash. Sawyer goes stumbling back. She didn't do her weird. She didn't throw anything away, so she's still holding the chair. And you can see her in her original outfit for a moment. As she's standing there, like stunned and startled, which is a classic Viking style top with like the apron front leading into a chainmail skirt and armored boots and little metal wrist gauntlet bracers. That's the word. And then it all catches into this green fire with like pink accents as it is burned away and replaced with her her updated one, which is all green leathers and like real rough leathers worn with like their fur lined with just old ratty wolf fur and a big heavy Viking helmet. No. But a really fresh looking sword apparently.
As fake Song Guardian is running without its blade and gets near Solar Guardian, I'm going to spend its string on Solar Guardian to offer you an experienced Solar Guardian to help it finish the distance, close the distance, and get to the eidolon, the masonry bug. As you look over, and for a second, you almost have lost track of whether you are in now or you were in 10 minutes ago, or 10 years ago, excuse me. And so for a second, you think it's actual Song Guardian running towards you as if you're in battle 10 years ago, and you have an urge to help it reach. Well, go ahead.
Can I do something if I see it looking at Solar Guardian?
Solar Guardian may have to make their choice before you act, but I'll hear about it.
Okay.
And I had the condition hopeless, right?
Yes, you have the condition hopeless.
So I don't think it's worth helping. Why would I bother?
Okay.
Well,
go ahead.
I would love to give them emotional support if that's possible.
I will let you do that. Yeah, if you tell me in order to do something, you got to do it.
Okay, so I think this is going to be a very, very like technical move as well. So I do want to like talk it out to see if I'm getting everything right. My emotional support, I want to also use one of my playbook moves as part of it, because what I'm going to say to Solar is not nice. I don't think. I think it is going to be like a very like harsh truth, because Tallahassee is remembering like, first and foremost, this is all a performance. She is a troubadour. Like, this was a show that was filmed, and like, to give a good performance, it's not just about attacking something. It's about like giving your all and your passion, and then like she's remembering what they had 10 years ago. And she knows that if these are themselves that they're facing, they're going to have to do things that they don't want to do, that would be like counterintuitive for these things that are being us. So Tallahassee is going to say to Solar, I'm going to use my sympathy for the devil and rationalize harmful behavior of a person, specifically Solar Guardian. All those years ago, I know that you liked me, and I know that you were jealous of Cherry giving me a kiss, but I ignored it, which is why I forgive you for every time that you have been passive aggressive or just a little off kilter or curt to me. I know I've always pretended to not notice it, but it does get to me, and I want you to know that you affect me emotionally, but I don't think I want you romantically. And I think this is also like, oh my gosh, there were so many things. I want to spend a string to give me the +3 to the emotional support, if that's okay.
Are you just trying to help Solar get up, like from the sticky floor?
Yeah.
Well, I want to alert your attention and like get you like motivated to fight, because I think we're fighting the wrong way. So I want to like key you in that like we need to like fight with our emotions and like reveal things about ourselves, or at least that's like Tallahassee's goal.
So, what are you trying to get Sunbeam to do?
I want like empower, I want you. Tallahassee wants Sunbeam to like kick it into high gear, essentially. Like, this is like, hey, I'm saying these things. Like, I know that you've been holding back when you're around me, but I don't want you to hold back. And
Right. What do you want her to do differently, though?
So hold on.
it's more of like a yeah, like support and like.
Go ahead. You mentioned him.
I was gonna say it's more like so I want the move is like emotional support. So I want to support you. I don't necessarily like want to like influence you. Just be like, hey, I'm here for you. I feel these things about you. Like, I notice the things that you've been doing, but I still like care about you anyway. Maybe just not in the way that you want me to.
So, first of all, for sympathy of the devil,
Mm-hmm.
who is
Yes.
whose harmful behavior are you defending or rationalizing?
I'm trying to rationalize Sunny's harmful, harmful behaviors over the years.
Okay, I'm gonna check in with Juicy, the player.
Yeah.
Is that a thing that you're okay with establishing?
Yeah, sure. No, she's totally been passive aggressive this entire time. I just presumed that everyone just ignored it or wasn't aware of it. But
Exactly.
that's if we're establishing you're aware of it, that is totally fine and worse, and I love it.
I
Yes, and it
do
sounds
like think that.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I think that's exactly it. Like, I think like you're absolutely right. Like, it is something that has been ignored, and I'm like, hey, not ignored anymore, but I forgive you for it.
I think it hits all the harder for so.
They froze.
I don't know.
And they froze.
Well, I think taking that into consideration while we were waiting for Fem to get back here,
Mm.
I think that Sunbeam will shake out of her reverie. I think she's in a bit of a reverie from just the hopelessness, and possibly recognize that the wrong Song Guardian is coming through. And, well, it would have been much more helpful if you had said something a decade ago, rather than leading me on like the slut you are. And she'll lash out with her sword. And I think, attack the false Song Guardian as it is coming, like trying to clothesline it with her sword.
Okay, so hold up, because I still have to figure out how to adjudicate Cam. So, Stampede Guardian, you gain a string on Solar Guardian, so note that down.
Got it. So that would actually bring me to 4 strings with Sunning. So I think that's a string advancement. So I would gain a trust with them, correct?
Hold on, because we've stacked a bunch of things on this.
I know, because
Then name who has been hurt by all of this.
I'm gonna say, ultimately, I think you've been hurting yourself, but that's okay. You can lash out at me.
So whoever has been hurt by this,
Yeah, that's me.
I'm gonna let you choose. It just says that because of that Stampede Guardian marks a condition. So I'm gonna let you,
Yeah.
Juicy, choose what condition Stampede Guardian marks.
And I'm already guilty. But I do think I am sacrificing a little bit of our relationship just to hurt myself.
So
So that might clear it?
Yes.
No, hold on. We're not even at the emotional
Yeah,
support
not
yet.
there
That's why we're
yet.
stacking
we're at
so many things
condition.
on this.
Yes,
So-
we're conditions.
Yes. So, Juicy, is
Yes.
Stampede Guardian angry, frightened, hopeless, or insecure from having hurt you?
Oh, this one, she does not get insecure. I think it's a little hopeless.
All right. So please mark hopeless, Cam.
Okay,
And now, roll me emotional support.
got it.
You would roll. This feels more like heart than it does spirit.
Okay.
You roll it at -2 because you're guilty.
Mhm.
Well, we're doing
So-
that to make my mouth water.
You can spend a string and thereby not get
Got
the
it.
string advance to get a +3 on it if you want.
I would like to do that, yes.
So you do not get a string advance. You're at 3 strings on solar, and you are
Oh, you
rolling
sure?
with. Since I'm looking, you just said you had just gotten to 4, so now you spent a string and you're down to 3.
Yes.
So looking at all of the math here, you are rolling at a total of a +3.
+3. Okay. So with a +3, that is a 12.
All right. So now, sadly my internet was being really mean to me. You got Solar Guardian so hard, you knocked me off the internet for a bit, so I did not hear what Solar Guardian responded. But so I'm just gonna ask you, Juicy, did
Yes.
you in response open up to Stampede Guardian?
So, wasn't it the false Song Guardian that was coming through?
It was a false Song Guardian, but right now I'm trying to figure out the emotional support move. So it's you and Stampede Guardian.
Okay. We'll say I opened up, yes. Yeah, I heard the feedback, I acknowledged the feedback, I lashed out.
All right. So then you Solar Guardian can choose one. Clear a condition, mark an XP, take +1 forward, or gain insight from me about an obstacle facing one.
I'm gonna take a forward.
Okay, so that means that your next roll you roll with a +1.
Yes, and I would like to do that. If I can.
We're gonna get there. We got one more step on Stampede Guardian.
Yep.
Because Cam, you rolled above a 10. You said you rolled an upbeat, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so you get to choose one from the same list, but you also have another option, an extra option, which is that you can take a string on Solar Guardian, thereby getting a string advance.
That's what I would like to do. Yes.
Okay, so then you get the string advance. We're going to deal with that in a second. We're also going to deal with the trust in a second. Thank you for reminding me about that. Solar Guardian, you want to make a move on the fake Sun Guardian before we deal with all of that.
Yeah.
And you wanted to do the move fight, it sounded like.
Yeah.
Roll with grace, and you get that +1.
Okay. I'm gonna need it. Let me just go back over to my character sheet. There we go. With grace. I rolled an 11 total with that +1.
All right, so you get to choose 3.
Yep, so I lash out with my sword, trying to basically clothesline the false Sun Guardian as it passes through. Yeah, the 3 latter options, which would be to get an advantage over it, by getting an advantage position, to give it a condition, and the other one that is not to flirt with it.
Take an object, or you said seize a superior position.
Yep.
And inflict a condition. So create an opportunity for an ally?
Yes.
All right. So what condition are you applying?
What conditions remain?
Let me get to my notes there.
Is angry available?
Angry is available.
I would like to make it angry as my sword hits it in the throat.
Ooh. And how do you do the other 2 things?
Because I hit it in the throat, it's going to, basically my sword is going to glow with light as I clothesline it, with rage. And it is going to get hit in the throat, which then of course is going to make it stumble and slow as it loses its breath. And it's like hacking away, right? So that will open it up to attack.
Okay. With its last breath, as you cut off its breath, you hear it yell, God, what was it, Eve? Was it Smash Mjolnir? What was your move?
Sorry, I was muted. It was Shatter Mjolnir.
So with its last breath, you hear it gasp, Shatter Mjolnir! And it brings, and I guess it doesn't have its blade. So it just grabs in a berserker overhand handhold and slams its fists down into the center of the roller rink, causing the roller rink to shatter and break, and the ground to become very uneven and dangerous, and the roof starts falling in, as it has caused significant damage to the building, making everything much more dangerous to do anything. And nobody has paid attention to blurry-faced Sparkle Guardian in a little bit. So blurry-faced Sparkle Guardian has been walking almost casually, almost comfortably, like it belongs in this kind of chaos, over to the concrete masonry rebar monster that is then leaning over Adrian. So fake Sparkle is just like next to them, and it reaches over with one hand, and it just lays that hand alongside the Eidolon. It leans forward and it kisses the Eidolon just on its side, just like a gentle kiss. And we'll figure out what it's doing after break. But before break, Before we do anything with break, we have 3 things I want to mention real quick. We don't even have to finish them off right now. One is, as was mentioned, this particular scenario has a special rule about trust and bonds. So first of all, has anybody spent a string on another PC in a way that helped them?
Yes.
And the recipient has to agree. So how many strings and who?
I believe I just spent the string on Sunny.
Yes. Are you the only one who has done this?
Solar spent a string on Sawyer last time, I think. Or Adrian.
Last time isn't going to count
did.
because it resets to 0 at the beginning of every session.
Oh, never mind then. Never mind.
So it's just, so far it's just Tallahassee, right? Just Stampede. Correct? Okay.
Yeah.
So Stampede, you gain 1 trust. And Solar, you also gain, 1 bond. You and Solar both gain 1 bond. All right. The string advance we're going to do last on this. Song Guardian, you gained an advance because you hit 5 XP, if I recall correctly. I was doing my math correctly.
Oh, yeah, I did.
Can you choose what advance you're taking, or do you want to do that during break? You can do that during break if you want.
I think we go ahead and just take another move on my list, and that is what makes a home. If every other PC in a scene has a string on you, your conditions cause you to only have a -1 penalty.
Ooh, I love it. I love that one. So useful for you right now, too.
No, I hope everybody has a string on me.
We'll find out in a second. But right now, because I'm trying to get to break, because we're a little bit past the time I wanted to go to break. Stampede got a string advance on Solar. So, Solar, please tell Stampede something they realize. They get a profound insight and learn something about Sunbeam that they didn't already know. It just comes to their mind as they gain this insight into you. Can you tell Cam what Tallahassee realizes about Sunbeam?
Well, I did call Tallahassee a slut while your internet was going funky. I don't know that she ever realized I thought those mean things about her until now.
So it's a profound insight about you.
Oh. Well, that I'm a slut shamer, but maybe everybody kind of knew that.
Why are you slut shamer though? What's deeper?
Did Tallahassee know that I was cripplingly insecure?
I don't think so at all.
Really?
Yeah, just very centered on her own issues, probably never realized.
Yeah.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Avoid an attachment. That's all she does.
Tallahassee's like, I can't believe it.
I'm the most insecure person. Nobody else is insecure.
Hail
Well, so
Supreme.
it feels like, Tallahassee, that your insight is, if I'm understanding correctly, is that Sunbeam is almost a mirror reflection of you. I could say the same thing to Cherry, I suppose. But you desperately want your friends to be like they were again. You're not Cherry. You don't want the high of being a magical girl again. But your greatest wish is to make enough money that you can convince them all to move in, and they will suddenly forget all of their problems. Sawyer will no longer be angry at everybody. That is your deepest wish. Sunbeam wants to leave it all behind and become a different person. So that reflection is your insight and your realization.
Oh, that's huge. That's not what I heard to say.
You clear all your strings, you go down to 0 strings on Sunbeam. You gain 2 experience points. So mark that. I think that gives you an advance as well.
Okay.
And which node do I want to be in? Do you share this insight to Solar Guardian while Solar Guardian is clotheslining the fake Song Guardian?
100%. Yes. Whether she hears it or not, it's a totally different story.
So we can pick up with you doing that, and then after break, just because I want to hear what you end up saying there. But it means that. Did you share it in an empathetic way, or will you share it in an empathetic way?
I hope to.
Okay. So I'll let you know that if you succeed, then Sunbeam will gain a point of trust. And trust means that your bond doesn't go down to 0. It means your bond goes down to 1. Mm-hmm. Like, trust is your limit of how low bond can go. But we're going to pick that up at the end of the break. Do you already know what your advance is, Stampede, or do you want to think about that during break?
I would love to think about that during break.
All right, then we are going to break. I hope Baba Yaga is paying attention, because we are about to go to commercial break, y'all. See y'all in 10 minutes.
It's a top 10.
Hi, everybody. I wish I could hear you all resoundingly yelling back, "Hi, Dr. Nick," because I am that old.
You don't hear that?
Oh, Baba Yaga did it in chat. Thank you, Baba Yaga. Speaking of Baba Yaga, in case anybody missed it in the Twitch chat earlier, Baba Yaga said, or as I like to call them, the Yagameister, because German liquor, that if we get to 50 subs, which is another 21 subs, then Baba Yaga will get a tattoo, a Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go related tattoo. They did not mention if it would be an invisible spot or not. I want it to be an invisible spot. That tattoo will either be a tattoo of Naughty with all of the key stuff hanging off of it, or it will be a Sparkle tattoo in honor of Tallahassee. I suspect, this was not mentioned by Baba Yaga, but I suspect that if we get up to something like 75 subs by the end of this show, we might be able to convince them to get both. So, get your friends to subscribe to Enchanting Sorcery Productions, and do it as soon as you can, because, heck, if this happens before the end of the show, I want Baba Yaga to be on screen showing us the tattoo. Again, Baba Yaga didn't actually say that or agree to it, that's just my desire. So yeah, tell everyone to subscribe. Get everyone to subscribe. Or gift subscriptions. Some of us are poor. Hi, I'm on welfare. You can gift people subscriptions if you want to gift me one. And Baba Yaga just agreed. So let's do it, y'all. Before we get into the game, however, Cam, have you chosen your advance for Tallahassee?
I think I have. Okay, I just have to check one thing. What are my stats?
Your stats are directly above the experience and advancement. So those are Daring +1, Grace +1, Heart +2, Wit 0, and Spirit -1.
Okay, I think I am then. Okay, I'll take another playbook move if that's cool. I'm gonna take Constant Craving after a show. I'm gonna take That Was Dumb. No, I'm gonna take Number of the Beast. Lock it in. Final answer, Regis. Number of the Beast. When you transgress societal norms to attract attention, you become the center of attention and roll plus spirit. I get a +10. Your transgressive art inspires your audience to work together. 7 through 9. Your art is judged heretical and possibly illegal. You draw the ire of a toxic power, but it still inspires unity.
Love it. Absolutely love it. And now, before we get to... Thank you, Mishi Mash. for subscribing. We're only 10 away, or only 20 away from that tattoo. But before we get back into the action, somebody redeemed an individual flashback. So as the masonry shalob of the form of the Eidolon leans over Scale Guardian and edges ever closer, dust dripping like saliva into her face. We go into a flashback. Please take it away, Sal.
Oh god. Okay. I guess we flash back and I think we see okay. First we see Adrian in the school library and we kind of see what she's researching, what she's looking at, and she has these like stacks of books beside her and she's writing in her notebook and she's researching like some sort of monster that they were fighting. She's looking in like history books and all of that, trying to find anything that she could find to like help take it down. And then we cut to this scene of her fighting and she just is doing it with like such prowess. Like each action seems like it's been planned out. And has like her two tonfa swords. Just her two tonfa swords, like that she uses as her crutches, and she's balancing effortlessly on both of them, and like whipping her hands up and like slashing things across, and she's like jumping around just from thing to thing and just like hitting each thing one after the other, and she's not missing a single shot, and everything is just working perfectly in her favor. And then we flash back to this current moment where she's pinned on the ground with this nasty rubble thing standing over her and covering her toga in dust.
And I think I want you to roll me Defy Disaster. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you while you're rolling.
Oh god.
That there is one
Okay.
disaster you will avoid on any hit, 7 to 9 or 10. And there is one disaster you will avoid only on a 10 plus. So on a 10 plus you will avoid 2 disasters. On a 7 to 9, or sorry, on a 7 to 9 you will avoid 1. On a 10 plus you will avoid 2. As for what you are rolling, I think it's probably going to end up being Spirit.
Oh, I'm good at that.
Yes, it's going to be Spirit.
Okay. Okay. I rolled an 11. I rolled an 11 plus 2, 13.
All right. So your advantage that you get from doing it with style is you will avoid both. So as you come out of this flashback, you start to see in the eyes of this Eidolon leaning over you an image that you remember of your final battle. Well, just before the final battle, when you were trying to get the team back in time to 66 million BCE, so you could finally seal away the Eidolons for all time. But your magic was failing you, and in real history, your magic was failing you, and you needed time to build up the energy to send the entire team back. And so the actual memory, the thing you remember happening, is yelling at Song Guardian to buy you time. And Song Guardian saying, okay, and dropping a building. What you see in the eyes is you being able to perform that ritual quickly and easily, sending everyone back in time. And the eyes show, as they dim down, they show the building still standing. as all of you disappear. It doesn't affect you, however. You know that this is a false history. This is a desire for a better past than actually occurred. And you can shrug it off as simple manipulation on the part of the Eidolon. As you go through that process, your eyes slide over to see fake Sparkle Guardian leaning over to kiss the Eidolon and have a chance to intervene before the lips touch.
Oh. Okay. Wait. Okay. Can I use a magical girl attack, or do I need to do something special to do that?
Of course you can. This game isn't D&D, so it's not like you have different attack. You just tell me what you're doing, and we worry about what you're trying to achieve more than what the form of it is.
Okay, wonderful. She is going to yell out, which one? I wrote some good ones. She's gonna say, Scaly Spirit, strike! And then lunge forward with this lance that's still in her hand and try to, knock one of them or both of them just back to stop them from touching.
Alright, so this is another Defy Disaster, because you're trying to stop something from happening.
That I am.
And this, would you say this is more about your might or your swiftness?
Ooh, probably, as much as I don't want it to be, probably might.
Alright, so then roll with daring.
Okay. One moment. I need to... Okay, yeah, sure. Daring?
Yes.
I'm good at that. That was a lie. 5.
Oh. Alright. So you shove away the manipulation effect the Eidolon's doing and brush it aside with the lance as you thrust up. But the Eidolon just grabs you tighter and shoves you down to the ground, preventing you from bursting out at all and distracting the Eidolon from noticing the fake guardian that is leaning in to kiss, and the lips end up touching the scaly, the rubbly, stony, cementy skin of the Eidolon, and you hear it's almost a slurping. Somewhere between a slurping and wind chimes, if you can imagine that kind of sound. And you're covered in dust. And it takes you a second to realize that the Eidolon has disappeared. And so have the blurry-faced attackers. So you've the fight has ended. And you get the sense that you have lost. What are you all doing?
I think Adrian is still just kind of laying on the floor, feeling like shit.
Is the sword still in my hand?
First of all, the Eidolon created version of yourself that had the bloody hands reached out to you and then vanished. So it's gone. The sword is still in your hand.
Okay. She's still staring at it this entire time all that stuff was happening, and she was just standing there in her transformed state, holding the sword and staring down at it. She's going to reach for the center of her chest and try to draw her sword.
Wait. Okay. just because Cherry's right there. Cherry just punched the fake Song Guardian, so I'm very close to you. So I think rewinding ever so slightly, when you inadvertently transformed and the green flames wreathed you when you were transforming, for just a moment, if it cuts to Cherry, she's watching that and her eyes are sparkling with the green light and she's like, spectacular. And don't know if anyone heard that, but at this moment, as you're standing there kind of in shock, reaching for your chest, Cherry's like, hold on. You already have a sword in your hand. We don't know what this magic is.
She just says, "This was my sword. It's not my sword. This was my sword." And yeah, no, she's going to reach into her chest and try to draw her sword out.
Song.
And she's doing it.
It sounds like Cherry wants to defy disaster, so I'm gonna make that a roll
Yeah.
against your friend.
Yeah.
It sounds like you're doing it with spirit, just pure sheer willpower.
Okay. Ooh. Nice. That's a 12.
That's sweet. Okay, so you do it with style. I will give you the option. In addition to defying the disaster, stopping, which is, I imagine, stopping Song Guardian.
Mm-hmm.
You can either learn something about Song Guardian or gain a string on Song Guardian.
Ah, okay. My goal was to take the current sword because we don't know what this magic is. We don't know what's gonna happen if she draws her sword while she's already activated. So I'm trying to take that sword from her. Do I get to do that because I got a 12?
I will give that to you as a third option. Rather than
Okay.
just stopping, you can actually remove the sword from Song
I
Guardian.
want that string on her though. Oh gosh. So it was either string, take the sword, or what was the other one?
Learn something.
Ooh. Maybe I'm not close enough to you. Maybe I'm slightly too far away. But and this is Sparkle Guardian. This is the leader coming out now, being like, don't do what you're about to do. And yeah, I want to learn something about Sawyer.
Okay. Go ahead.
What do you want to know?
That it's
I'll
up
let
to
you ask a free question. Yeah, it's free answer. Anything that Cherry would learn.
I don't know. Give me a prompt. Like what kind of thing?
Something she doesn't know.
Something relational, perhaps. Something
Or I can
about
just
Sawyer's opinion of.
Or I can just take a string on you.
Well, personally, me as a player, like, take the string. I need you to have a string
know.
on me so I can suffer less problems.
I know.
But, because I want to give you something handy.
Give her something juicy about your relationship or understanding of Cherry.
Ooh.
Oh, she blames Cherry for the building. That's the person she blames the most for her killing all those people.
Oh. So I think I'm there, like, trying to gesture for you to stop what you're doing. I think we just lock eyes.
Oh, yeah, no, you just see hate in those eyes.
A moment of silence falls over the ruined roller rink, broken only by Rebecca's, like, fearful muttering to herself. And in that moment of silence, Solar Guardian, who is currently on her back in a pool of magical cola. It's probably more like root beer, because if you've ever seen that one scene from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, you know how evil root beer is, and it would totally make you hopeless.
Okay.
Sunbeam, I did not forget about an effect you had last session, so you turn your head and you see that you knocked something off of fake Song Guardian. And you see it in the distance off, actually on the other side of these two who are now staring at each other. And to tell you what it is, I actually have to ask one of the players. Jess, what item would Cherry have to remind her of Sawyer from back in the day?
Oh, it's a guitar pick.
So Solar Guardian, you see a guitar pick signed Sawyer to Cherry from Sawyer that you would recognize.
If it was from back in the day, it would have been signed from Bella.
Yeah.
From Bella. To Cherry from Bella.
Oh, does it say B plus C?
There you
It's a
go.
guitar
Yeah,
pick.
that'll work.
Oh.
So that's what you see has you knocked off of the fake Song Guardian.
Then I will get off my ass, and I will walk over and pick it up and take a closer look at it. Just walking right through them.
You should walk right through their stare off.
Yeah, just
That's
like
hot.
right through. I'm just completely out of it, just completely in a daze. I just walk right through, bend down. Oh, wow. Huh. Look. Remember when you two were friends? And you actually
Yeah, with
cared
that,
about
Sawyer
each other?
Sawyer draws her sword.
Oh.
The second
Huh.
you say, "Remember when you were friends?" She's just, that glare gets so much harder, and now she's
Oh,
just
no.
doing it out of raw defiance.
I'm gonna spend one of my generic strings to get 5 a session
To hurt me. You're
to
gonna
offer
hurt
you an experience point.
You're gonna turn inside out.
I'm trying to offer an experience point to Song Guardian to lash out at Sunbeam for saying that.
Oh, that's easy enough.
And may I also lobby that I have just achieved one of my target trials, shocking someone with an unwelcome truth.
Yes! Mark it!
So,
Yeah.
question: did I manage to draw my sword? So
Um,
determine how I lash out here.
roll me Defy Disaster Spirit.
Oh no! Oh, I keep having to do this.
This is with Spirit.
What is my spirit again? I think it's a 0. I might. Oh, it's a -1. Okay, well, that's a 7.
You can draw your sword if you accept a consequence. I will DM the other players. While you're thinking about it,
Oh,
Why
okay.
did
So
you-
the
did you see-
consequence is that you will DM other players.
I will DM them a consequence for you. You will not know what it is.
Yeah, no, I'm
Um,
drawing it.
okay, so hold on a sec.
Drawing it, like just immediately whipping it right at Sunbeam.
Hot. I want to hear all of this, but give me a second. Because Sunbeam also marked a trial. So, Sunbeam, you can choose to mark XP, clear a condition, or take a string on someone involved.
I already have 2 strings on Sawyer, so I'm taking an XP.
Alright, mark the XP. I think. Let me know if that's an advance.
Not yet.
Okay. And then I'm going to have to DM everyone. Well, Sawyer, you're, I believe, rolling a fight, if I understand correctly.
Yeah, and I wanna. So I'm assuming the sword that I draw out is the cracked sword.
It is. So you should also describe that.
Okay. So yeah, she reaches into her chest and pulls out, and like about halfway out, it's this long. I guess we already described the old version, which is a long Ulfbert, your classic Viking sword. She draws it out, and about like halfway out, it seems to catch and almost start to grind, and you can see where it's shattered into this jagged point, and leaching out of the end is just that green flame with the pink tips, as it is just seeming to struggle to come out of her once it hits that flame. And it's almost as if the flame is desperately trying to form the shape of the blade, but it can't maintain it. And yeah, she's just gonna whip around and take a swing at Sunbeam. Or, excuse me,
dear
Solar
other
Guardian.
4 players. Dear other 4 players, I have DM'd you.
I would like, the sword comes out, I see that attack going. Can I intercede? Either trying to block with my sword or with my body?
The
Preferably sword.
most basic way to intercede on another PC's actions is just use the influence with a string to add or subtract 1.
Which I should have gotten.
Oh. So you don't have any strings on that.
I don't have any strings on.
Yeah, am I able to block?
Well, I got a 9. Means I only get to choose 1. And
Hold on.
You also
Hold
get
on.
to choose 1.
Actually, if it's a 9, then spending a string won't do anything.
Wouldn't do anything.
Yeah, so that's the most basic way to do it. I could try to get into a Defy Disaster chain, but we did that once already this session. So I'm going to say that you could, but it wouldn't have any effect.
Okay.
And also in the future, when there's a question like that, please don't announce your role until the person's made the decision. Sawyer,
Yes.
you get to choose 1.
Actually, get 2. And the opponent
2 rather,
chooses-
excuse me.
Yeah, the opponent chooses 1. Yeah, I wanna provoke my opponent and gain a string. And inflict a condition.
What condition are you inflicting?
Oh, what conditions do you got? Sunbeam.
Am I still hopeless?
Yes.
Then hopeless is what I have right now.
Okay, so yeah, go ahead and mark afraid.
Afraid and hopeless. That's where I'm at.
Yep. So yeah.
You cleared one from all the Tallahassee stuff. Was that hopeless? Or did you have 2
Oh.
earlier?
Was that?
No,
then,
she didn't. She didn't clear. She chose to mark XP.
Oh, okay.
If I recall correctly.
Yeah, and yeah, I also gained a string on you.
All right, and then Solar Guardian, you get to do 1 back.
Okay. Then I shall attack with my sword. Well, what do I add to this?
Since
Just-
yeah,
you just get to choose one from the list.
yeah.
Fighting is dirty.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then if that's the case, then I would use my spirit, and that total would be 12.
Okay. There's no roll. You just get to choose one from the list.
Oh, shoot. But shoot, I don't have the list in front of me, so that's why I was confused.
You can flirt with or provoke your opponent and gain a string on them. Through violence or cutting words, you can inflict a condition. You can create an opportunity for an ally through prowess or distraction. Or you can take an object from your opponent or seize a superior
Yeah,
position.
I would like to inflict a condition then.
What are you
More
inflicting back?
conditions.
Angry.
I'm already angry.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
angry
obviously.
and frightened.
Oh, okay. That tracks. Then, the other ones are, remind me again.
Guilty, hopeless, and insecure.
There we go. I want insecure. Insecure fits.
Okay.
All right.
I'm all kinds of fucked up. I wish people
Yeah,
would get more
yeah.
strings on me.
Yeah. Why are you attacking me? She shouts back and lashes out.
I don't think Sawyer even knows right now. So I think she's just going to turn around and start walking to the door.
Yeah, you turn around and I'm behind you, and I have my sword to your throat.
Also, a little minor detail here. Sun Guardian, as soon as you take that condition back, as soon as you strike and you feel that weirdness rise up in you from striking a friend, even in this crazed, weird moment you have, you feel your clothing transform and change. And you are no
Oh.
longer in your magical girl outfit. You are now dressed in standard, normal Viking person's clothing from the 11th century.
Yeah, hold up.
You are now wearing historically appropriate Norse clothing.
Yeah,
Why can
Sawyer
we
with
see-
the sword to her neck, just like her eyes suddenly like just drift down. She's still holding both these swords.
Is she?
You're not holding both swords. No, wait. Yeah, you didn't lose the other one. Yeah, you're holding both. Because you didn't take the sword away, did you, Cherry?
No.
So yeah, you've got both swords in your hands. And one at your throat.
Yep,
Yeah.
a lot of swords. A lot of swords
Yeah.
in here.
And Cherry is just like, why don't we stop right there?
I think Sawyer, she stops, and like her eyes are drifting down because she did notice like the shift in like the weight of her clothes. Takes a little step back so she's not pressing into the sword. Takes a
Hey,
closer
Sparkle
look.
Guardian.
Solar, are you
Hey.
okay?
Yes, I'm fine for now, but who do they think they are? And there's a sword at your back.
Hey, y'all. Hey, what are you doing? This one has a face. I don't know if they were involved. They might just be a bystander like Rebecca.
Why
Yeah.
are we what did they do? We're not attacking Rebecca, and then Adrian kind of like looks around and
Look,
we were
alright, so
away.
I know everybody does not intend it, but people get mad at a trans woman and all of a sudden it's just they them all the time. Oh, and she is so Sawyer's noticing that. She's not saying anything. She's feeling kind of insecure and afraid and pissed off. So she's
Cherry-
not sure that her mouth is going to function properly.
You do hear the doors bang as Rebecca has left.
Okay. Cherry does. The sword's still up, but you took a step back. And so she inches back and is like, Scale, Stampede, are you okay?
I mean, no,
Physically.
As okay as I can be.
Okay.
no. A little battered, a little bruised, fell into a bunch of tables.
All right. Okay. So, we've got 2 swords. You've got 2 swords. We can all take a step back and lower our swords.
Sawyer's are already down. They're just sitting by her side. I mean, one's
Oh,
on
I thought you
fire,
were, like,
sure.
Holding them up.
No. She took her swing. Probably realized it was not a good idea. Hence why
Okay.
she's feeling pretty insecure right now.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that I should go.
No. She doesn't need to leave. You are possibly, don't panic, you are possibly infected or being affected by some magic. So we would like to help you. So if you could please put the swords down, we can try that.
Might be a big shock to learn magic is real, but
Magic
here
is
we are.
real. I do- I- with-
So it's just like, I fucking know that magic's real. I've been with you fucking dumbasses this entire fucking time. And
You
she
don't have to call us that. We're already being, I think, pretty nice to you.
Yes.
do y'all think time anomaly?
Fans who think they've known us. I get it, but where did you get those swords?
Yeah, those aren't canon.
Something's
I don't
happening
believe.
here.
She could be time displaced. If the 400 were from the future, she could be from the past. What year
I
Well,
mean,
you know about
look at the
think it
$400.
is?
Who's to say?
Well, there are like past people with the
What's
400
happening?
as well.
She does speak English, though.
Hold up.
But there were
Hold
other
up.
ones that had blurry faces.
That's true. She doesn't have a blurry
She doesn't
face.
have a blurry face.
Well,
What?
I
That's
think,
the most
okay,
curious
Rebecca
part.
was here. Rebecca doesn't have a blurry face. I think she's a
Yes.
bystander. Let's let her go. Nothing's
Rebecca!
wrong.
Holding
Wait,
the sword.
All right.
Rebecca
Oh.
left.
Hold up.
Of course, you may have questions. I get it. We'll take it slow.
When did you come
Who
from?
do you think that I am?
We don't
Yes,
know.
we
want
We
you
don't
to
know who
tell
you
us.
are. What do you mean, who do we think you are?
How long
Are
have
you
you not
okay?
known who I am?
My entire
I've never
life. I've
known
been-
you.
What a
When
question.
do you think that I got here?
About
I
5
think
minutes
you
ago
just
before
walked
you
in.
left
Rebecca.
out.
You'd said you'd been here the whole time. Were you already in the skate rink when all this
Okay,
started?
does
Have
the
you been
name
lurking?
does the name Belladonna Sawyer ring a bell?
Who?
Yeah, they're part of my favorite band.
Cam's
No.
got it. Cam's got it.
Okay, I am Belladonna Sawyer.
No fucking shit. Oh, I'm so sorry to cuss in front of you. Can I get your autograph?
Who?
I have your pen. It's like one of my, like the only one. All my pens represent my friends except for this one. But I love your band so much.
I only listen to folk music.
Okay.
Oh, well, you gotta listen to this.
Sawyer,
Okay.
you feel something in your
Why are you
sleeve.
dressed up like that?
You feel something in your sleeve that seems to be crawling like a large bug that has something solid on the back of it and something scrapey and maybe chains crawling down the length of your sleeve.
Her hands are full and there's several swords pointed at her. So she's like, okay, there's something currently crawling on my sleeve, and y'all seem to have forgotten me.
I didn't forget you. I listen to your music all the time.
No, Tallahassee.
Solar, I think Solar, I think she's a very confused civilian, so let's just...
No.
What time displays?
No.
We've had this happen before.
Okay.
He's in your favorite band. How is she time displaced?
Well,
Everyone sees
I'm
familiar
magic.
tentacles creeping out from Sawyer's sleeve.
Oh, God damn
Sawyer,
it. Get out of there.
Sawyer
I
Naughty
have-
starts crawling across her hand towards
Naughty.
towards the broken sword.
Shaking, trying to get it off.
It's
Naughty.
clinging tightly to your hand while you're shaking. Y'all still don't recognize Sawyer.
Oh.
So,
Honestly,
Sawyer,
while this is happening, I think Adrian is like standing up and just walking over to near where Tallahassee is.
Sawyer flips the I guess not big sword, her old sword around and stabs it into the ground, and is just going to grab Naughty.
Okay, you pull Naughty off. There's a slurp as you break the tension as it's from that it was using to hold onto your hand.
All the slurps.
Knock it off, Naughty. I ain't got time for this shit. Okay.
How do you
you-
know its name?
Because I fucking hate
What's
this
the show?
turd.
It starts
All right.
What's the show?
frantically flapping its butterfly wings.
You hate
Oh.
him, but how are
You shouldn't even be able to see him.
you familiar with
Oh.
it at all?
Y'all would
Because-
know. Just add a little bit of weirdness to this. Y'all would know because it's a fun fact that has come across the screen. Infants can see Naughty's true form.
Oh, our
Sawyer
you
is obviously not an
infant?
infant.
Okay. Miss
Belladonna
Sawyer,
Sawyer.
were you in a car wreck? You may have a serious concussion.
Gosh.
Are you okay?
No.
Like an infant. Did you get baby brains?
Oh, she was vaccinated.
She was
Oh,
You can't say that, Sonny. That's not okay. Look, herd immunity is a real thing and we need to take it serious.
no.
I
will
go to the
jumping in,
Guardians. They convince you.
jumping in real quick. A, hey Sunbeam, Tallahassee just called you Sunny, your old name. And B, Sawyer, Naughty managed to wriggle free of your hand and is flapping towards your broken blade.
Fuck. She's just gonna be slapping at it. I'm trying to fucking figure something out here. Alright,
Tallahassee,
you
it's
idiots
Sunbeam
have
now.
clearly gotten your brains fucked.
Oh, thank you.
Naughty, knock it off.
Hmm.
And do not remember me. I'm one of the fucking guardians. That's why I have the sword.
Mm.
And
It's been
What
I
is the
don't
sword?
know
I just-
why I am
Welcome
dressed
to
like
the
this.
Guardian.
No, Tallahassee, don't. There's nothing believable about what she's saying.
yeah.
I believe
We've
every
known
word
each other
that
since
she's
I was
saying.
4 of us.
fucking like
right?
13.
Interesting.
No,
Did you
if I was
like?
13, I think I would recognize
Okay.
you.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
there's
Maybe
just a bunch
timeline
of
is catching
lockdown
up.
fucking magic shit that just fucking happened. Everybody freaked out because I picked up my fake self's sword, which is my sword, and she picks it back up and
Naughty
It's
is
around.
dangling from it at this point, clinging onto it with tentacles. The king's jangling beneath it.
Y'all, I get it. I understand what's happening. I figured it out. It's season 3, episode 12. It's when the fake Guardian entered our party, but it was just a time displaced, like I'll forget exactly what
We don't-
happened.
We
I'm
don't
not
know
a
we're in a
fake
show.
guardian, I just don't want to be a guardian.
It's a little too
My nose
meta.
starts to bleed.
You
My nose starts to bleed just a little bit.
Wait.
Season,
Oh.
you know, the seasons like fall, winter. That's how I journal.
So jumping in here. So here, Nadi has been like trying to pull and pick way of the blade as you've lifted it, and manages to dislodge it from your hand by just doing that swinging thing, and it falls towards your chest and into your chest,
Which one?
and as
The full
the
sword or
broken
broken?
blade,
Okay.
the broken blade, and as soon as it does so, everyone can make me a defy disaster spirit roll.
Yeah.
You don't need to, Sawyer, because you're not being affected.
Fuck. Damn it.
How'd everybody
I think
do?
I got my favorite, which is middling. I got a 7.
I got a 3. A mark of potential.
Yeah, mark and
I got
experience.
it.
Yep.
I got 8.
Okay.
I also got
Hey.
8.
Okay.
Only I
We keep
failed.
matching.
Only Cherry failed. Cherry, you're still completely affected. The other 3, it's awkward. It's like you suddenly start to recognize Sawyer, but you're also recognizing Sawyer as Elsa Sigurdsdottir, and you don't know who Elsa Sigurdsdottir is, but whenever you look at Sawyer, both names and come to mind, and you kind of recognize them, but you also kind of don't.
Okay, Miss Sawyer, this is probably a lot. You're very confused. You probably think you saw something. Magic has strange effects.
I feel like
Cherry.
hitting you right now. I feel like just
Okay,
smacking you.
we don't need to hit anybody. I think
I mean, she could try anyway. She's not going to remember this in
Hurry.
48 hours. And civilians never do.
I think we might. I don't know. I think something.
I mean, don't you just think that a real magical girl like us would have a better temperament for this kind of work?
I'm gonna lose
does-
my fucking mind.
That's a good point.
Sawyer's looking around, and she picks up. She sees like that 6-pack that I imagine got scattered across the floor. And she grabs one of the Miller Lowlifes off the ground, and cracks it open.
Thou read somewhere that your name is Elga as well. That Belladonna is just a stage name.
I don't know what is happening right now. I'm
Olga?
very
Was that what you
confused
said?
and tired and pissed off. My shoulder is fucking killing me right now.
Sawyer,
you-
somehow the name Elga does ring a bell. It feels like your name, but not really your name. And suddenly you remember the name of your mother is Sigurd. Go ahead, Saul. I see your hand.
Is there some kind of role I could make to try to like just assess what's going on and figure out if I'd be able to like recognize any of this? And-
There is a figure out role. Figure out a person.
Can I do that?
I'm gonna interfere with your questions, so you'll choose a question, then I'll reword it to see what answer you get. But yes, you can roll figure out a person.
Sure. Okay.
Roll
I
with
assume
wit.
that just- Yeah.
If you spend a string on Sawyer, you get +3.
I think Sawyer's just thinking, wait, was I considering choosing that name?
7.
All right, you may ask 2 questions, but Sawyer / Belladonna / Elga gets to ask one of you.
Okay. Is there a list of questions that I can ask?
Yes.
So I
Yes.
cannot find them.
If you
Yeah.
look at the basic moves on our sheet, they'll be
Yeah.
under figure out a person.
Page 21.
God, there's so many pages.
Yep.
Oh wait, yes, I
I
remember
mean,
how to.
you all say that.
stuff.
It's up at the top.
200 something of the core book, so.
Yeah, no, like it's
Okay.
not that
Okay.
many pages, but it's a lot of scrolling back and forth.
I get 2.
Yes.
2 questions, yes.
Ooh. I want. How could I get you to understand what's going on? And how would you feel if? Ooh. I wanna. But I don't know what. If I something. But Kaleidoscope, you said you had to reword them anyways, right?
Well, I do want to hear how you ended that. How would you feel if I what?
How about how would you feel if I walked away? I want I to refer to the gang TM, but I don't know if that's allowed.
I can do that.
Okay.
How can I get you to understand what's going on? Some of it I'm just going to answer, but Sawyer, you can build on this. How can I get you to understand what's going on is you get the feeling that talking about the zeitgeists might get something moving.
Okay.
And how would you feel if the group walked away? The answer is going to be
Complicated.
you're gonna get 2 answers. One of them is keep walking, disappear. Like you should keep walking and disappear and leave us. The other answer is what Sawyer is about to say.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Sawyer. That's kind of what she wanted, was everybody to just go away. But at the same time, this is really weird. And now she's kind of concerned that it's going to be biting her in the ass if everybody does. So she's a bit worried because, like, a nurse has already been hurt by all this shit.
And
Now people are forgetting who she is. Okay, well, we can't just like leave it on that. That's a weird note. So probably not too happy about it. Especially because she would
and
have to follow you guys.
So yeah, so you get good, leave, keep walking, and leave us alone. Leave us as the only ones, and I would have to follow. Are the 2 realizations that come to your mind. And Sawyer, you get to ask one of Scale Guardian.
Shit, I forgot that.
Come on, what do you love most?
About what?
About anything. What do you
general.
love most?
Does it have to be situationally relevant?
I don't know. It could be. Doesn't have to be.
I think what Adrian loves most. What does Adrian love most? Do I want to give like a good proper answer?
A picture of one of your lizards falls out your pocket.
Yeah. I think Adrian loves having the company of others.
Yeah, it checks out.
So jumping, good.
Hmm?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think Adrian kind of just like looks at Belladonna for a real long second, just kind of like staring, and goes, "What do you know about zeitgeist?"
I imagine the same thing we all know. like
I don't want to
source-
tell me what you know. I don't know what we all know. That's what we all know doesn't exist anymore.
Aren't they like the source of our powers and whatnot? Do we know where Zeitgeist come from?
You know that
what
they are the spirits of a
exactly
century.
they are? Yeah.
You know
so we don't know
they are the spirits of a century.
exactly what they are though.
Mhm.
Like what does that mean? You know, they're the spiritual representation of a century or whatever, right?
I mean, she kind of like turns and like looks at the other magical girls and goes, "It checks out. That's not. I mean, a stranger wouldn't say that."
Well, you know all things about magic, Scale Guardian. Is there some way we could have forgotten about a team member?
Oh well.
Yes, apparently.
All things feels like a bit of an exaggeration.
Our bond is too strong. That wouldn't happen.
I mean, you're right. But it
No,
has
it's
been
not.
10 years, Jerry.
GM, would I know of anything magical that might cause this to happen?
I want to say three things. One is we're near the end of the session, so we're gonna
Yes,
have
we
to
are.
wrap this up pretty soon. The other is, Sawyer, you suddenly, when you talk about the spiritual representation of a century, you think about Song Guardians, Zeitgeist, which is Zeitgeist of the 11th century, and you think, oh, that's the century it is now. When you say that.
Wait a minute.
The last thing I want to say, which I think we might leave that as the cliffhanger on that, but we do need to do a quick go back because I forgot one thing when we were coming back from session. So we need to do a sort of an in-episode flashback because Tallahassee, we needed to hear how you spoke that insight to Sunbeam, to know if it was empathetic, to know if Sunbeam gains trust.
Okay. If you will allow me, I think I might have something once we get this final reveal that could answer that. So instead of going back, maybe we could go forward.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Okay. So all this is happening around us, and then there is like a feeling that Sawyer, you think it's the 11th century?
Yeah, I think Sawyer's like. Wait a minute. And I think she like reaches for her phone to check the date.
Hey Siri, is it the 11th century?
Yeah, no, like because like she's mixed up. She knows that she's Belladonna Sawyer, and like Belladonna Sawyer has a phone. So
This
like
is perfect.
yeah, she picks up the phone. It's like, no, it should be like 10:57, right? Wait, what? Is this date right?
I look forward and I'm like, yes?
Yes, that is the date right now. Yes.
And you know they're right, Belladonna. when you
Yeah,
say that.
no, of course they're right. Obviously.
What
It's
Are
date?
you sure
not-
you didn't get hit in the head?
Hold on. I did say we were at the end of the session, and I wanted to leave it on the revelation of the 11th century thing. But we need Cameron is doing this to wrap up that loose end. So let's let Cameron do what they're doing.
I think like Tallahassee's kind of been like in and out of this conversation because a lot of things have been happening, and they're just kind of like locking in at how Sunbeam feels. And I think Tallahassee just like sees all this and like puts her hands up and she's like, look, no matter what, we're all in this together. And Sunbeam, what I said to you earlier made me realize, and pardon me for cursing, but we're all just super fucked up, aren't we?
No.
I think it's okay to admit it. I know I am.
That must be really hard for you.
Hey, I think it's okay that hard things happen sometimes.
That's sounding like that was the end of the interaction. So, Sunbeam, did Tallahassee share that insight empathetically?
She did. Absolutely.
So Sunbeam would have gained trust.
I think so. Deep down, yeah.
Mark it on the sheet. It's in the Sparkle Heart Magic Force section.
Mhm.
That you have 1 trust. So what that means is, at the end of every session, everybody's trust bond, resets to their trust. So since you're the only one with trust, that means that Adrian, Tallahassee, Sawyer, and Cherry are all getting reset to 0 trust.
I think I actually have 1 trust.
You shouldn't have. You should have 1 bond. Did you gain a trust last session?
Didn't I gain 1 from
You gained bond this session.
and also right, bond, and also because of the string advancement, I got trust as well.
Let me quickly double check. I believe the
We
trust.
can figure this out.
Yeah,
We can
Yes,
wrap
I don't
it
know.
up.
I
We
don't
can
know.
wrap up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm gonna look this up while people are doing their outros. Thank you very much, Jess. Sorry about that. Let's please do our outros, starting in reverse order from the previous one. Say who you are, say how people can, your pronouns, how people can get in touch with you or follow you, anything exciting you've got coming up, and a 1 star from this session. So we're gonna start with Saul.
Oh God. Okay.
You are a god, it's true.
I'm Saul. I use any and all neopronouns. I have no projects except this. I don't try to find me on social media. Star from the session. Sparkly Sparklehaw riding on a centaur, obviously.
That was so good. As Mishi Mash says, this was a wild session. Cameron.
Okay, I will have to say mine was, I kind of like love crunchy like meta mechanic stuff. So when like that one thing I did triggered 20 billion things to happen, that kind of really tickled the part inside of me.
It made me pretty happy too. But do your outro. Dude, tell everyone who you are, your pronouns.
I honestly, I just, I'm just thinking too much. Hey, look, thanks for watching. I'm Cameron. Follow me, find me at Streaming Rainbow. Look up the Streaming Rainbow on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all the things. I don't know what else to say. Yeehaw, sparkle haw.
I have looked up, by the way, and verified Tallahassee does not get a trust from the string advance.
That's okay.
Only the recipient gets the trust. So only Sunbeam gets the trust. Go ahead, Sawyer. Or that's her, Eve. You are Eve. Your character is Sawyer.
Yes.
One or both of you are Elga Sigurd's daughter.
Okay. So, hi, I'm Eve. Currently embroiled in time travel shenanigans, apparently. You can find me over at Lawless Vic on the Blue Sky. That's like the only one that I'm using right now, and even that's barely. I don't currently have any projects, so if you want to do a project with me, just like hit me up or something. I'm on various discords and all that. Yeah, I don't know. Go check out my old shows. Anyways, if my star is just how badly it busted my head when I realized what the hell was going on. Because that killed me. It's just like, what the fuck are you guys talking about? Why are you acting like this? Is this a joke? Are we joking with Sawyer right now? Sawyer's in a very confused emotional state. Y'all are just sitting here playing games? Just act like she's the bad guy? I love that. I loved it. Like, I couldn't even say anything for like a solid minute there.
I'm sure Sawyer has no idea what it feels like to feel like the bad guy.
No, not at all. Oh shit. No, that's good stuff. Yeah, no, that's all I got.
Alright, that means it's Jess's turn.
Great session. Again, I'm Jess. I'm art_fantastical on social medias, but I mostly just repost other people's things like casting calls and promote other people's shows, blah, blah, blah. I'm currently appearing on the Graveyard Tapes spin-off Masks show called Queen City Supers, which is 3 superhero teens in Canada going to superhero trade school, and it's very slice of life and it's very cute. So yeah, and you can also find me and Eve over on the Ballad of the Seven Dice on a lot of weird zany shows, so check us out there as well. My star for this episode, yeah, just getting that secret message and then being like, who are you? That was amazing.
Brilliant. Oh, we're getting a raid right as we're doing outros. Hello,
raid!
Madford Stream.
Hello!
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 You're here just in time to hear us all say goodbye.
Yeah,
3 more hours. 3 more hours.
3 more hours. 3 more hours.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Welcome to
welcome.
Sparkleheart. Welcome to Sparkleheart Magic Force Go. We are burnt out magical girls meeting
Yeah.
10 years after saving the world, and
Yes,
we're wrapping up.
we have a great time making each other feel bad.
Yes.
Yay!
Yay.
Oh, watch the VOD. Have a watch party. It'll be great.
Yeah, watch party.
It will be good.
Have a little watch party.
All powered by the Apocalypse games are about making your friends feel bad. Thirsty Sword Lesbians is just about making your friends feel giggly as well.
Yes,
Like-
it is true.
Like making them blush while feeling bad. That's Thirsty Sword Lesbians. Juicy, you now have an audience.
Hot
More of
dog,
an
I
audience.
love attention. I crave it. I need it. Give it to me every day, all day. I am Juicy Garland, Boston area drag queen and super nerd. You can find me on the internets at Juicy Garland or at juicy.garland. Search one of them, you'll find me. If not, they both work usually. I am in this, but also All Our Faults, which is a Monster Hearts 2 actual play podcast where I play a sad, angry vampire teen boy who yells at everybody and is very horny. It's great. And we love what we do. It's a great show. I'm also actually doing some Delta Green GMing as handler for Improv Madness, which is another show run by Tabletop Tailspinners, of which I am part, which is a small network focusing on bringing as much diversity as we can with the best talent we can find. So pay attention to my socials for the way too many projects I'm always constantly doing, because I both crave attention and also am a glutton for punishment. So have a great and swell weekend. It's been an awesome scenario, and my gold star for today has been everybody making each other feel bad. It's been awesome, and I've been really enjoying playing this game with all of you. So thank you all very much for being here to let me be as passive-aggressive and horrible as I can be.
We love ourselves some passive aggression. Hello, everybody. If anybody has a spare $5 and wants to subscribe or gift subscriptions, we're also on a sub hunt right now. If we get up to 50 subs, then our producer is going to get a tattoo of some of the art from this game. So please, if any of the newcomers want to subscribe, please do so. I have lots of names. I have 19 of them. One of my names is, to remember which one I haven't given before. One of my names is Kaleidoscope Eyes, and I use 3 different sets of pronouns. One of them is B, Bim, Bose. I am an aspiring TTRPG personality. I've got the TTRPG, I've got the personality. I'm just trying to put them together so I can make a buck, quite frankly, because I am too crazy and trans to get a job, and I am on welfare. So if you have any projects that you want to put me in, please put me in them. I am currently in a show on Singularity Roleplay of City of Mists called Breaking Neon, and the next episode of that will air this a week from tomorrow. So not tomorrow, but the next Sunday, or a week from 2 days from now. I can math. Not this coming Sunday, the Sunday after. There you go. March 24th. Nope, I am mathing wrong. God damn it. I hate it when I do this in afterwards. I'm confusing everyone. It is airing this Sunday, March 17th, on Singularity Roleplay, so please check that out. I will also be in another game on Singularity Roleplay called Winter, which is a game of Monster of the Week, and will be on another game on Enchanting Sorcery, run by our amazing and powerful and strong and beautiful and wise producer, Baba Yaga, called The End of Love, which is a Dragon Age murder mystery. So keep an eye out for all of those. I do not yet know who we are rating. Baba Yaga hasn't told me yet. And you can also hire me as a professional dungeon master by going to my Start Playing. Join my kink culture centering RPGs, one of Mage the Awakening and one of In Nomine. I would love to play with you. Yeah, come join me. My star, there's so many stars. When it was starting the session and having the players just kind of take control of the session away from me and just immediately have stuff to do and go on. One of my stars was messaging everybody that secret consequence and having them play it so beautifully. Like just so subtly and delicately and beautifully. It was great. And it felt amazing at every moment of this session. Every decision my players made this session. I have too many to list off the top of my head, but those were some. Thank you, everybody. And unless my Baba Yaga tells me in my ear that we have something else to do, we are going to be done and say goodbye and hopefully raid somebody. I don't know if we actually are. I haven't been told that. So, see y'all. Well, I should say, before we go, we are going dark next week for PAX East. So tune in to the next episode of Sparkle Heart Magic Force Go in 2 weeks. See you then.